What's going on, guys, and welcome to my first podcast that I haven't even named yet. I'm thinking I might call it Talking Shift. I don't know. I think it sounds like a good name.
Great name.
Do you think?
Great name.
All right, give me your reasonings.
It's just a great name. Short, sharp, funny. Bit like me, but I'm tall, not short.
Yeah, you're not short or funny. Nah, you are funny. I'll give you that. Anyway, yeah, this is my first podcast. I've never done something like this before. So, yeah, quite nerve-wracking, but let's see how it goes. I mean, if you're seeing this, then I guess I kind of liked it and I think it's good enough to go live. So, yeah, anyway, it's a Saturday night. And considering it's Saturday, what drink did you bring, Brandon?
The one and only.
Captain Morgan.
I promise you, I didn't drink all of this.
Don't know about that. You've been here for a while.
It was already like this.
You've been here for a while, Brandon.
One thing you should know about me and Andrew is we're very lazy.
Yeah, that's true.
And no one was going to the shop.
No.
No one volunteered. So, yeah, it's one of them back of the cupboard things.
So my usual drink of choice is Coronas. Keep it simple. Don't really do the spirits.
If you're just with your boys watching football or Formula One or just chilling in general, Coronas.
Yeah, 100%.
Easy.
Spirits is only for going out.
They taste all right as well.
Yeah, with a bit
They
of lime.
ain't that bad. A bit like sometimes they can make your belly hurt a little bit though because of the bubbles.
Yeah, if you drink it too fast.
Yeah. But if I'm going if I'm going it's Captain. Well, they brought out a new one recently.
Okay.
Telling ya, game changer. I've always been Spice Gold. Boom, boom, boom. None of that dark rum stuff. That's horrible.
Never tried it.
Not on that at all. Not at all. But they came out with a new one. It's called Mango and Pineapple.
Oh.
And, mate, it's really hard to find.
Is it?
Yeah.
Where can you get it from?
So, I say really hard to find. They sell it in the Asda.
Do they?
Me. But if you go into another Asda, they might not have it. It's really strange.
Do me a favour. Next time you come,
I'll bring one with me.
Yeah.
It is, honestly, game changer. It doesn't even taste like alcohol.
What do you mix it with? Sprite?
So I don't drink Coke. I hate it. So I'll either mix it with Sprite or if I've had too many with the Sprite and my belly starts to get a bit bloated, apple juice, orange juice, just something like that. Mainly apple juice because orange juice just kills everything.
But what did you say? Mango and pineapple, did you say?
Yeah.
Does that mix well with the apple juice?
You don't worry about stuff like that.
It's a means to an end.
Yeah. You can drink it neat. Like it's literally
Really
that sweet that you could drink it neat. The only trouble is if you were drinking it throughout a whole night, it's going to get too sweet. It's going to get way too sweet.
You're going to have to bring that round next time.
So you do have to mix it up a little bit. You know, like just swing in a couple of vodka shots just to change it up a little bit.
I'm going to stick with my Coronas. I mean, this is yours, but this is the last one that we had. And it's I don't know why it's a litre big.
Let's talk about this.
It's a litre big.
Let's talk about this, right? I don't know whose idea this was, but it was terrible, right?
700 ml in one bottle.
This is never, ever necessary.
It's warm by the time you finish it.
Give me one example when this is necessary.
If you're lazy and you can't be bothered to keep opening bottles, but that's about it.
Okay, you get halfway down the bottle, for example, it's now room temperature.
Yeah, mate, if that.
It is colder than warm.
Just like my old fridge.
But warmer than cold. And it's rough, mate. It's rough.
Anyway, I've run out of that now. So now I'm sticking to something that I never, ever drink. I don't know the last time I drank gin. I just know what it tastes like. That's all I know. I don't even know this is good. I think this is just cheap, like high street stuff. I don't know. But yeah, a bit of Bombay dry gin and that.
I've never been a gin person.
Never.
Don't really, I don't know.
But as it currently stands, it's a means to an end.
Is there a stereotype for gin?
No, but you get like a lot of, a lot of people are big fans of gin.
I think it's become a bit more commercialized than what it was.
I don't know, but you get like a lot of older people drinking gin, and you get a lot of girls drinking gin. From what I've seen.
Before it was just older people, but now there's so many different ones. Like you get pink gin. I'll tell you what, actually, I've lied. I don't normally lie, but I've lied. Yeah. I had at my house, yeah. I don't know, I can't remember who bought it, but it was my sister's birthday, and we had this Parma Violet gin. Mate.
Was it nice?
Mate. Oh, I'm telling you now, different level.
Different gravy.
Mate, no, different gin, mate, not gravy. I'm telling you. Right, so that's one. I've got to bring that, the captain. I'm going to get you to try all these drinks. Parma Violet gin, lemonade. Oh, mate.
You know who started their own gin company a while back now?
Who?
Richard Hammond.
Did he?
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. He loves gin that much that he started his own gin brand. I think it was him.
You think?
Maybe. Anyway, I'm mixing my gin with Monster, but as I say, it's a means to an end. Anyway, what we've been doing today, we've just been watching qualifiers for Formula One. Formula One season is finally back on for the biggest season ever, apparently. 23 races. And for the first time in a while, I don't know the exact date, it started in Bahrain as opposed to Australia, because obviously, due to COVID reasons, no one can get to Australia. But
Australia are moving nuts.
Mate, but to be fair, they don't have they've locked themselves down. No one is able to get into the country. No one can leave the country, and they have no cases.
They've always been a bit like that though with their border.
I mean, they're a little island. To be fair, so are we, but they can kind of get away with it.
Yeah, I suppose.
Anyway, besides the point, it's a big season this year, and it was already an interesting season thinking about it going in, especially after what we saw a couple of weeks ago in pre-season testing, winter testing. But even after qualifiers, it has raised so many questions. I think first thing to note, Mercedes, were they sandbagging or were they genuinely struggling in pre-season? Are Mercedes as fast as they used to be? Is Verstappen faster than Hamilton and Mercedes? I'd say Verstappen is one of the fastest people on the grid, if not the fastest.
100%.
But at this current rate of time, is he faster than Lewis? I don't know. But yeah, anyway, let's start off with the lineup. Let's talk about the current lineup. We've got Hamilton and Bottas in Mercedes. We've seen that for the last few years. It's fine. Strong lineup.
That's got to change soon.
But the car apparently is looking a bit weaker. Where things get interesting is from that point onwards. You got Verstappen and Red Bull really up in their game, and Perez. You got two great drivers in a car that at the end of last season was beating the Mercedes. And at this season, the start, where usually the trend is Mercedes starts strong, Red Bull plays catch up. It's not like that this season. Verstappen has gone and got first place in qualifiers like it was nothing.
Not after what we saw today, mate.
Ridiculous. So yeah, you got this, and then Perez, he put in a decent shift.
Yeah, he put in a shift.
Unlucky that he couldn't make it out of Q2, but I'd say one more lap and he probably could have.
But there was a yellow flag in Q2, no?
I think so, but I don't know if that yellow flag actually affected his lap. Maybe I didn't see the marshal's decision. So if that was the case, then yeah, I'm well gutted for him because he put a shift in. What else? You've got...
Let's talk about Vettel.
Okay, Vettel, Aston Martin.
Vettel and Aston Martin.
So, I really like Vettel as a person. I think he's a great character, right? I think he's great for the sport. I think he's just a great personality, right? He's done some very great things and very honourable things in and out of the sport. So as a person, I really like Vettel. Now, in my head, I'm thinking, I really want Vettel to shine. And in my head, I'm thinking, there is the excuse that Ferrari put him in the back burner. Also, they had a really bad car. Vettel wasn't performing. So, him going to Aston Martin should be no excuse.
Yeah. Yeah, I see where you're coming from. I mean, I used to be a big fan of him. I used to think that he was great because he used to be a very aggressive driver. And like you said, he was a great character and he kind of switched it up a little bit. And he always had people that didn't like him. There was always, if you said to someone, oh yeah, I really want Vettel to win, they'd be like, what are you talking about? From my experience anyway, from the people that I know that watch Formula One.
Bear in mind, and I'd say, well, this goes for me, my Formula One experience isn't massive. I haven't been a Formula One fan ever since I was a kid. I would say I'm in a similar boat to a lot of other people where I got into Formula One last year because of Drive to Survive. So yes, I'm a massive Formula One fan now, but my experience with Formula One doesn't date all the way back to when Vettel was winning championships.
I mean, likewise, but for me, it was more my dad, mate. He's obsessed with it. My dad, my auntie, and my granddad, they're all obsessed with it. So what I know of the sport is mainly from just hearing them talk about it or them coming to my house to watch it. I mean, over the last year, I've got into it a bit more, started watching it myself. But I wouldn't say I'm into it as much as like football, for example.
Okay.
But it's definitely something that I'm warming to. Back in the day, I used to think it was a bit boring. And then as I've gotten older and my passion for cars has grown and grown and grown, I've kind of warmed more to the sport. So for me, I don't really know too much about it. I'm still learning, but I know enough to talk about it.
I think with Formula One, it's very much the case that you kind of have to follow the politics behind the sport to enjoy watching the sport.
Yeah.
Because to a person that just watches the races, why does it matter where the Vettel comes? But when you follow the politics, the history, where he's come from, where he's become now, he's just come from Ferrari, he had no seat. Racing Point, or shall I say Aston Martin, gave him a seat. That's where the interesting parts of Formula One goes, I'd say.
I think that's the same with any sport, really, though.
That's it.
Because to someone else, it's 20 people driving around a racetrack. The same way that on a football pitch is 22 people running around kicking a ball.
Would you not say that football might be more interesting to watch to someone who doesn't understand the history of the sport? Or not the sport, but
not necessarily.
The politics behind it all?
Not necessarily. Because you can watch a football game, it could be 0-0, mate, and it will be boring. It'd be the most boring thing you've ever watched in your life. But then someone that's never watched Formula One, doesn't know the first thing about it, can watch it. There may be a bit of drama. Someone spins out, someone crashes or whatever. They're like, oh my God, this is so interesting. And they just get drawn in by it just because of the drama.
Point in case, Grosjean. When have you heard of Grosjean ever being mentioned in like the last year or two? And then he spins out, he crashes, really bad crash actually, to be fair. So thank God he made it out of there. But there was a lot of attention on the sport by a lot of people that aren't actually necessarily Formula One fans.
We was watching that race.
Yeah, it was mad. There was way too many stops, but
that
granted.
Was mental.
Mate, my phone was popping off that day. Everyone was like, are you watching the race? Are you watching the race?
But I think off of the back of that, they were doing something with the gloves and the boots because his hands got a little bit burnt or something.
No, but I think, so it's very impressive that in an incident like that, in an open wheel race car, that the only injuries he's had is some burnt wrists.
I mean, shout out to Halo.
Yeah, massive shout out to Halo.
Because, mate,
he would have lost his head.
That would have...
Have you seen all like the recreations of the crash?
Without it would have been curtains.
No, he's gone. Gone.
Without it would have been curtains.
His head would be in that metal rail.
Mate, even to come out of it with the halo, even to come out of that situation, mate, he was sitting in a ball of fire.
And for only his wrists to be burnt, that's insane.
Underneath a metal barrier.
It's crazy. But anyway, we digress.
Always.
Carrying on with the current lineup. Vettel, I was a bit disappointed with him in qualifiers today.
Terrible.
Yes, granted, he hasn't had as much mileage in that car as Stroll. And yes, I'm not expecting him to know that car inside out to be catching up with the Verstappens and the Hamiltons. But he was nowhere near.
But I did expect more from him.
I expected him to at least be better than Stroll. Don't get me wrong, Stroll was very poor in previous years. Last season, I don't know what Stroll did, but he pulled it out of the bag. He did insane.
Yeah, he done bits.
Right? Considering the level that he was at. And then for Vettel to not even be able to beat Stroll, that raises a few questions. But then again, it's his first race in the Aston Martin, or first qualifiers in the Aston Martin. It just makes it another question to be raised and another thing to look out for moving forward. Because I really want him to do well. I don't want Vettel to be remembered in the sport as the guy that just lost it.
But I don't know. I think after Ferrari, he should have walked. He should have walked.
Yes and no, because I'm a believer of quit while you're ahead, right? As bad as that sounds. You don't want to be remembered as the guy who was the best and then a few young boys came in and basically you weren't the best anymore and you started going down the ranks and then it starts becoming, well, kind of like what Raikkonen is now. But Raikkonen is not in there to win. He's in there to race. He enjoys racing.
Yeah, he just
enjoys driving. But for me, I'm not going to remember Raikkonen as one of the greatest drivers of all time. I'll remember him as the guy that was in Alfa Romeo and has been sitting at the bottom of the table in, day out. I'm not saying he's a bad driver, but he is past his prime, let's be real.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Now, I don't want Vettel to be seen like that. So for him to be in Ferrari and then obviously not be getting the results, obviously due to Ferrari slacking, let's be real here, at least he could have used that as the excuse. But now that he's in Aston Martin, it's a bit more of a gamble. Because now he's competing with Stroll. So he needs to at least be better than Stroll. Realistically, he's never going to get top 1 or 2. Right? And it's a gamble because if he doesn't do well in Aston, then it looks bad on him.
And he's just proper wrote off his career.
But if he does well in Aston, then great. At least people won't see him as the guy who flopped. Realistically, he's not going to win any more championships. But you at least want to end it more positive than it was last year. So I guess he is in a position of, I've got nothing to lose anymore. But if he left Ferrari there and then, and he didn't take on a contract at Aston, he would have been remembered as the guy that just got ditched at Ferrari and didn't do well and was at some points of some races. He was racing Russell in a Williams. Now, I'm not saying Russell's a bad driver, but I'm saying Williams is a bad car.
But on the other hand, he's gone from Ferrari, obviously didn't have the most positive of endings with Ferrari.
No.
But you're saying if he'd left then, he would have been the guy that was on top, went to the bottom and just left.
Yeah.
But now he was on top, went to the bottom, went to another team, new car, new team. I don't know, man. But this
is the thing. I think there is a good chance because Racing Point last season did very well. So if there is a team to be a part of, that is one of them.
Yeah.
Because, okay, if you asked me this 2-3 years ago, I probably said, nah, don't go there. But the results last year, okay, granted, they may have had a bit of a help from Mercedes. You'd like to think that they're on the up, right?
It would be cool to see another team.
Exactly.
Getting up there.
Last season, they were on the up and they were, did they get 3rd or 4th?
I can't remember, to be perfectly honest with you.
Okay. Anyway, they were up there. They were competing very well in the midfield. So, not a bad position to be in. Realistically, he's not going to be in a Mercedes. Realistically, he's not going to be in a Red Bull.
Mm-mm.
So, yeah, I mean, to be fair, if I was him, I probably would have taken it. but I want to see him deliver. I will feel bad if I don't see him deliver.
He's got nothing to lose, but he's got something to prove.
Yes.
And I don't know. For him, I hope he does it. I hope he delivers.
Yeah, 100%. I really hope he does. And I think that part of the grid is probably the most interesting part of the grid ever. In the midfield, you have Aston Martin with Stroll and Vettel, which I would say are two solid drivers.
Yeah, consistent.
You've got McLaren with Ricciardo and Norris. Norris being probably going to be one of the fastest up-and-coming drivers.
100%.
And Ricciardo obviously has something to prove. Ricciardo's one of those guys that has never been in the right place at the right time, as opposed to Lewis, who's always been in the right place at the right time. But I think Ricciardo has something to prove right now. So you got Ricciardo trying to prove that he's better than the new kids, and you got Norris trying to prove that he's better than the old boys. That's quite interesting. They're both quick drivers. And they're both consistent.
Definitely one to watch though, Norris.
He is.
100%.
He is definitely something for the future. I don't know if he'll be getting top threes now, but in the years to come,
I wouldn't put it past him.
I wouldn't. He's definitely got the capability for it.
I wouldn't put it past him. It's just you've still got some real big talent on that grid.
But I mean, look at Verstappen. It's not just about speed. Like, look at Verstappen. His biggest problem, I think, was his mistakes that he made because he's a young driver.
Yeah.
And I think it is the same with Norris and Russell. But
again, that just all comes with experience.
Yeah.
Just seat time.
That's it. So that's why I don't see Norris being in the top 3 this year.
Mm.
But in the years to come, yeah, definitely 100%.
Oh, yeah, for sure. 100%.
So, yeah, you've got a really interesting team with McLaren, with Norris and Ricciardo. You've got a really interesting Renault, because you've got Alonso in the Renault now. Obviously, I haven't seen Alonso race for a couple of years now.
Yeah.
And I never really watched him race when he was in Formula One. So I don't actually know how good he is, but he's no denying he was a quick driver. He's won a couple of championships.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So I don't know how many championships, I'm not going to lie. But there is the potential for him to be a very, very, very quick driver in Renault. Ocon, I'm neither here or there with him, to be honest with you. I'm not saying he's a bad driver. He used to be a very quick driver. He used to be very good in the wet. But yeah, as I said, I'm neither here or there with him. But he's a solid driver nonetheless. Ferrari have a really good lineup.
Mate, let's just talk about what happened.
What happened today? I mean, to be fair, they were on the softs. Q2 out of nowhere.
Q2,
one
they
and
just
two,
went nuts.
1 and 2, Ferrari at the top. Very surprising to see. But granted, everyone was on the mediums and they were on the softs.
But mate, Leclerc was 12th. Yeah, we was talking about it. We was like, mate, he's in the bottom 5. He's going to drop. And then all of a sudden, him and Sainz, boom, boom, first, second.
But you've got a whole different tyre compound.
Oh, yeah, of course. But
yeah, I think Ferrari might actually be on the up. I don't know. I don't want to say anything, but
they haven't had the best of luck.
No. And they haven't had the right car. They haven't actually changed much with their car this year.
I think it was due to Corona. They didn't have a lot of time to develop their car because Italy went into some savage lockdown.
Yeah, so there was that. There's also the fact that, well, a correlation of them from when they started going downhill was when they got caught doing naughty stuff.
Naughty.
So... yeah, no, so I'd like to see Ferrari at the top just because of whenever you think race car, you think Ferrari, right?
Yeah, it's always been that.
And seeing them compete for points, not even for top 3, for points last year, just trying to get into the points, it just felt dirty. So I want to see them back up on top, but at the same time, I don't really care about them being on top because I kind of find them a little bit arrogant and a little bit, oh, we are Ferrari. So
yeah, I mean, I don't. It's not that I want to see them at top, and I don't want to see them at the top. I don't know. I can't see them being top. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I mean, Leclerc, one to watch, 100%. 100% one to watch. He's fast. He's young. He just needs seat time. He just needs experience.
And to be put in a better car.
Yeah. But once he gets it, he's going to be fast.
Well, I hope so.
He's going to be very fast.
And then other than that, you've got Alpha, Williams, and Haas. Realistically, they'll be the top three teams. Bottom three teams. Not top three. So realistically, they'll be the bottom three teams. I hope Russell has a better year, but obviously the car's holding him back.
Russell needs a better car.
In due time, though, he will get a better car.
Obviously, I get they have to prove themselves.
No, forget that. As soon as... All right, this alarm is basically because my camera only records half an hour at a time.
Mate, that gave me anxiety. I just thought about work.
So I have to stop recording and then record again.
That just made me think about being awake at 5 o'clock in the morning.
All right, we're recording again. Yeah, so you've got Russell. He's going to be in a Mercedes real soon. As soon as, put it this way. I think Bottas and Hamilton are only on 1-year contracts at the moment.
Yeah, I think it was due to reduction in wages or something.
No, they only got renewed for a year. So not for any bad reason. It's just that's what the contract happened to be. Gives them each flexibility, I guess. The driver and the constructor. Now,
a prime example, you saw him drive the Mercedes.
Yeah, and he was great. He was insane.
Mate, he was fast.
He was next level. But this is the thing, and that proved that he is ready and he's good enough, but he just needs that seat.
Exactly.
So, yeah, as soon as Lewis and Bottas or either or leave, that's it. Now, this brings me on to what I was going to ask you next, which is, what do you think your predictions are for the season? But on the note of Lewis, what I really want to happen is Lewis just wins this season, beats Schumacher's record, and then calls it a day after that. Because I think any longer, Lewis will slowly be going down the ranks and he'll be in a similar position to what Vettel is in now.
I don't just want to see him win it, though.
This is the thing. So, judging by what we saw today, and it's only a glimpse of what we've got to see to come, right? I reckon it will be a lot tighter than it has previously been in previous years, unless Mercedes somehow change up that car and Lewis gets even faster.
It wouldn't surprise me.
Anything can happen with Mercedes, and it's good to see the extra competition coming from Verstappen and from Red Bull and from Perez and from all the other teams as well. So this is really good for the sport. So to get the best of both worlds, I want Lewis to win it, but to win it on the last race.
Yeah.
Him and Verstappen battle it out.
I don't want him to be winning it 3, 4, whatever races early.
Yeah, that's it. Which is always what's been happening.
Because one, it's repetitive, and two, it's boring. Fair play to the guy. He has done bits from day one. But it does. The sport just needs something else, man.
No, I agree. But as I said, I just want him to win this one.
Yeah.
And then call it a day. Quit while you're ahead. You've beaten Schumi's record. And that's it, you're leaving.
But then he could go for another title.
Then you're playing a game of...
He could see it.
Then you're literally rolling a dice.
He could see it as, okay, I've beaten the world record.
Let me beat it even more.
Let me beat it again, just so that no one's going to come behind me and beat it.
It's a very long way away before someone can do that.
Oh, yeah, of course. It's long,
a minimum of 8 years away before someone can do that.
Yeah. But I don't know. It would be cool to see him win again and then call it a day.
And then as soon as he calls it a day, that's it. The sport will become naturally just a lot more competitive.
Yeah.
But then you never know. Is it just going to be Verstappen on top?
Probably.
Because Verstappen, he is different gravy. He is so fast.
Yeah, but then like we've seen before with Russell when he briefly drove the Mercedes, as soon as someone else gets behind that wheel, Like, granted, Lewis Hamilton is a great driver, but that car is fast.
All right. What are your driver predictions for this year? Standing.
I hope Hamilton wins.
Yep.
It's just cool to just see someone British win. He grew up in Stevenage. That's literally like
Down our road.
10 minutes down the road from me.
Yeah.
So it would be cool to see that again and to obviously see him break the record.
100%.
That would be cool.
Do you think it will happen though?
It depends, mate. If Verstappen brings what he brought to the table today, Hamilton's got a job on his hands.
Yeah.
100% he's got a job on his hands.
Yeah.
I would like to see some of the younger ones in the top 5 at least.
All right. So give me top.
Just
what do you think the top 5 will be?
Oh. All right. Hamilton for sure. Verstappen for sure.
So Hamilton 1, Verstappen 2nd.
It would be. I can't see it happening, but it would be cool to see someone from, like, maybe if you could get Norris and Leclerc in the top 5, that would be wicked.
All right, who are you picking for 3rd? Because there's a few contenders for 3rd. You got Bottas, Perez. They're probably my either.
I don't know, because Bottas is like, he's hot and cold, man.
He's consistent, but when he does mess up, he messes up.
Yeah, but when he has
He's either in 2nd place or 15th.
But when he has a good race, he has a really good race.
Yeah.
But I would probably say Perez over Bottas, I think.
So you'd say Hamilton 1, Verstappen 2, Perez 3.
It's early days. It's hard to tell.
Okay.
We've literally
And
seen
Bottas
one
4?
qualify. Yeah, 100%. And then it would be cool to see one of the younger ones at least make 5th.
Yeah.
Leclerc,
who do you want to
Norris.
see 5th? I'm not going to lie. I'd rather see Ricciardo 5th.
After today...
I'd rather see Ricciardo 5th than Norris.
Nah, man, I'd rather see Norris 5th.
I don't know. I like Ricciardo, man.
Yeah, but I like Norris as well, man. And he's in the McLaren. It would be cool to see them 5th.
Okay.
It would be cool.
Okay, who do you realistically think will come 5th?
I don't know. Probably Ricciardo.
This is what I'm saying. The midfield
Or maybe... I don't know. Sainz put in a shift.
Mate, this is what I'm saying. The midfield is very, very, very competitive this year.
I think the top 4
is going to be Red Bull, Mercedes.
It's pretty easy to say what the top 4 is going to be.
I mean, it could potentially be Red Bull, Mercedes, but realistically, it will be Mercedes.
5th to 10th is messed up.
Mate, you've got Ricciardo, Alonso, Vettel, Norris, Sainz, Leclerc.
Mate, 5th to 10th, you couldn't even predict it.
100%.
You just couldn't.
And I think it'll be very close between them all.
Even probably 5th to like 12th or 13th in there. Those like 7 cars in the middle. I think I definitely would never put no money on it.
No, genuinely.
Never put no money on it.
I've never seen the midfield this competitive in a while.
And it's cool because the midfield as well, there's such a variety of age, talent, experience.
And this is the thing, the midfield has a lot of opportunity to get big points as well, because at any point where Hamilton's car doesn't finish or Verstappen crashes or something like that happens, you will see the midfield boys at the top.
Yeah, 100%.
So, yeah, I think it's a really interesting lineup this year. I genuinely, I can't even fathom what it could potentially be.
It's just that midfield. You can always really tell the top and the bottom.
So constructors, who do you think will come up on top? Mercedes or Red Bull?
Mercedes.
But saying that,
Mercedes.
Even with Hamilton first and the 2 Red Bulls in 2nd and 3rd and Bottas in 4th, that would put Red Bull on top, I think, depending on the points.
But look what happened last year. Mercedes just walked away with it.
That's because Hamilton basically won everything. I have a feeling it's going to be a bit more of a split between Hamilton and Verstappen on the wins. And I have a feeling that Perez will be stepping on Bottas's toes big time. I have a feeling it's not going to be a 1-2 Mercedes comfortably anymore.
No, I'm not saying that, but I still think Mercedes are going to win. Definitely Red Bull second. If I'm putting Mercedes first, Red Bull second 100%.
So I have an inkling, and this is... I've seen a couple of other people say this, because I did put a poll out today, what people think. I think Hamilton... As I said, I want Hamilton to come first, so let me say Hamilton first place. But I think Red Bull will win the Constructors.
I don't know, man.
Because I think Verstappen and Perez will outpace Bottas.
It depends.
Because as much as Perez hasn't had enough time in the Red Bull, he's an experienced driver. He can get used to anything.
Yeah.
You know, we've completely missed out one team. AlphaTauri. They did all right today.
Yeah, but are they up there with the big boys?
No. But...
Great team.
Solid midfield.
Solid.
Gasly, he's been doing great. And Sonoda, considering he's just come out of nowhere... Out of nowhere, straight from F2, he's done all right today.
Yeah, he has. He put in a shift.
I'll give him that. He's done all right.
He put
better
in a
than
shift.
Mazepin at least.
He put
Mazepin.
He put in a shift. He done well, man. He done very well. I think once he gets some more experience, because obviously Formula 2 and Formula 1 completely like...
Different ball game.
All right, yeah, it's the step down from Formula 1, or you could say the step up from Formula 2.
It's a completely different ball game.
You can't compare them. You can't compare the cars. They're completely different. But I think once he gets used to that car, he, again, not top yet. Not yet, because there's too much talent. But midfield, solid. He's there 100%.
Gasly's done a lot better than I thought he would be doing. And he's definitely not like rubbing it in Horner's face, but I have a feeling like he's like trying to prove a point. I should be in the Red Bull.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It should have been me going up from Toro Rosso to Red Bull, not bringing Perez. But then again, I don't think they would have been able to do that. They've given him a chance before. He's not done well.
Yeah.
And at that point, I didn't think he was the best of drivers. But then last year in Toro Rosso, he did all right. I was trying to say AlphaTauri.
AlphaTauri, yeah.
He did all right last year. And this year, this qualifiers at least, he's put a shift in.
So what about Ferrari and the Constructors?
I'd like to see him above fifth.
If we're talking...
I'm not saying they will, but I'd like to see it. Like, I don't want to see them 6th and 7th.
Nah, because it's always been that poster car when you was a kid.
Yeah, that's it. Realistically, will it happen this year? I kind of don't think so.
You see the red and you're like, oh my God, yeah, that's the fastest car.
Exactly. I don't see it happening this year, but you never know.
No, I've got faith in them.
I'd like to see them top 5 this year.
At least.
I'd like to see them top 5.
At least.
So
yeah.
at least 4th or 5th. Next year is where everything gets interesting. Whole new regulations, whole new cars, whole new everything. That's another reason why I'm saying Lewis should just come out, because the playing field is going to even out big time.
Oh yeah, massively.
So just leave. Quit while you're ahead. Win this one and then call it a day. But yeah, all I know is that tomorrow, first race of the season, or I don't know if it's tomorrow when you're watching this, maybe it's today. I don't know when I'm going to upload this, but...
Or it was 3 months ago.
Maybe. I think it's going to be a very interesting race.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. If it's anything like the races at Bahrain before, they're always interesting.
Do you like the Bahrain track?
Yeah, man, I think it's cool. It takes, well, like we heard today when we was watching it, no one has finished first, starting second.
Yes, we did hear that today.
That's what we heard today.
So do you think first race of the season, Verstappen has won it? That'll be mad.
I think for him, that's what he needs. And that's what he also needs to keep Lewis on his toes. I think if Lewis goes in and wins the first race, he's going to be like, all right, here we go again.
Let's see the first corner. I think first corner will decide a lot of that race.
But I think if Verstappen wins it, that's what he needs. He needs to win it, 100%.
It'll be good to see Red Bull do well. I know I'm wearing a Mercedes hat, but I do like Mercedes as a team and everything, and I do like the way they do things, but I've also been a bit of a Red Bull fan as well. I like Red Bull. I like the branding. I like the way they are. So I would like to see someone other than Mercedes up top, but as I said, if it wasn't for Lewis potentially beating this record, I would be rooting for Red Bull.
Yeah, for sure.
But because I want Lewis to just win it this year and call it a day, I kind of want Lewis just to win it, and then I can start rooting for Red Bull next year.
Definitely. But I wouldn't sleep on Sainz and Leclerc. I wouldn't sleep on them.
They're both great drivers. I just don't know if they've got the car to.
I don't think they've got I don't think they've got the car to compete for first and second. But they can switch.
I don't think they can compete for third and fourth either. As drivers, they can.
Mate, it literally takes a lockup. And that's it.
Yes.
And that can change the whole race.
Yeah.
And they'll be there. They'll be there ready for when you make that mistake.
I don't know. I think tomorrow, after tomorrow, our views on what's to come.
Oh, yeah. You'll have a better idea.
Will change a lot.
Yeah, of who's bringing what to the table this season.
So I think after this race, I think we need to have another conversation as to what we think of what just happened.
Oh, not another one.
But yeah, it's actually crazy. Before we end the Formula One talk, a friend of mine, I was talking to my friend Tom yesterday, and he said at the end of the season, you should, like at Abu Dhabi or wherever it is, you should just get all the drivers in equal cars, i.e. a Fiesta ST or a Focus RS or an M3 or something, in the same cars.
Let them all have it out.
And just let them all have it out just to see who actually is the better driver. Because you never actually know who the better driver is, because there's a lot of argument as, is it 50% car, 50% driver?
No.
Is it 80-20? What's going on? Like, I had my mate's dad calling me when Russell was racing, and he was like, yeah, Lewis isn't all that. It's all about the car. It's 80% the car. But I don't know. I don't think so. I think if you put Latifi in that Mercedes, I don't think he would have done as well as Russell did.
Shout out Latifi.
But I don't know. I think it will be really interesting to see them all in genuinely equal cars.
Yeah, that would be cool. Obviously, in the future, that is definitely going to be the case, and it will expose a lot of the drivers. But if you're talking about now, it's never going to happen, is it?
No, it will never happen. It will be something really interesting to watch.
Oh yeah, it would be cool.
Okay, let me ask you this: if we were to put all the drivers in the same car, let's say the brand new M3, G80,
yeah,
all of them 20 G80s at Bahrain. What's the order?
Mate, Verstappen's coming first just because he's just a nutcase. He'll have it out on
You know
that
what?
track.
I don't think he'll come first, because he'll just be like, you know what? I'm going to drift around every corner.
He'll have it out on that track.
He loves a good drift.
Mate, he'll have it out. Hamilton, I still think, will be at least top 3. No way would he be less than top 3. Not a chance. Not a chance, because he's fast.
So do you think Verstappen is a better driver than Hamilton?
I think so, yeah.
So do I.
Because I think if you put Hamilton in the Red Bull, I don't think he'll do what Verstappen does.
No, but then again, the Red Bull is made around Verstappen, and the Mercedes is made around Hamilton.
Yeah, so it's never going to be.
Everyone has a preferable setup.
It's never going to be a fair comparison. But if you were to put them in the same car, I reckon Verstappen would have him out.
Okay. So tell me the standings. Or at least the top 10.
Verstappen first. Hamilton second, most probably. Followed by Bottas, I think.
Do you think?
Yeah.
Not the new boys.
Nah, man, I reckon Bottas will just send it to space, mate.
Okay.
He'll just go for it.
Okay.
Then I think this is where I think it would be completely different to the Formula One cars. I think a lot of the new boys would switch up the top 10 just because they're new drivers. They've been practicing. They've been brought up around the newer cars. You know, whether you've got all of the functions there that you need.
All of the assists.
Yeah. They've driven all of those cars. So I think definitely Sainz would be up there 100%. Ricardo would definitely be up there as well.
I reckon Raikkonen would put a good shift in.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
I reckon he would.
Don't know. New car. Nah. Leclerc definitely.
Because this is the thing, it's not just about the car. You got to think who's the better racer. Because it's all well and good being fast on a Saturday if you can't race on a Sunday. And Raikkonen is a good racer.
But it's new cars.
It doesn't mean he doesn't drive anymore.
No, I'm not saying he doesn't drive anymore, but a lot of the newer boys, that's what they've practiced in. Do you know what I mean? That's what they've been brought up around. And I think that will play a part if they were all to just get into a brand new M3. For example.
Interesting.
I do think a lot of the newer or / younger talent would shine.
Okay, I say Verstappen.
Agreed.
Hamilton.
Agreed.
Leclerc.
Third.
Yeah. He's rapid.
Third.
Yeah. I reckon Leclerc would put a shift in. Then, as you say, things get really difficult. I think even Leclerc is a bit of a ballsy one for me to say. But things are very difficult. But if I was to put numbers on it, Russell.
What?
Russell.
Yeah.
Ricardo in 5th.
Yeah, he's consistent.
Bottas. Can't knock him too much.
He's got to be up there somewhere.
Yeah. Bottas in 6th. Sainz in 7th.
Yeah, he'll be up there as
well. Actually, no. Perez in 7th.
No.
Sainz in 8th.
No. Swap them round.
I think Perez is faster than Sainz.
Swap them round.
I think Perez is a better driver than Sainz.
Sainz will have it out, mate.
No, I think Perez is faster. I like Perez. Perez is a good driver. And he's more experienced. But I'm forgetting Norris. Mate, this is too hard to put a number to it. I think this would probably be the most interesting race of the season if this was to happen.
Yeah, but it's not going to happen.
It's never going to happen. But this would be the most interesting thing in the world. Someone needs to organise this.
Yeah, someone needs to.
Because you genuinely cannot predict what this would be.
Oh, no, you couldn't. Even as things stand now, just in Formula One in general, I don't think you could predict the middle of the field. Let alone if you used to put them all in equal cars.
In equal cars, yeah. Because I genuinely couldn't tell you who are the better drivers.
It's hard to tell when a car is built around the driver.
Anyway, I'm looking forward to tomorrow. I think tomorrow will be a big day.
Very.
And it might make things a little bit clearer.
For sure, 100% it will. 100 because you can see who's bringing what to the table.
I'm thinking this is going to be a 6 season.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I've got no doubt about that.
It's going to be insane.
No doubt about it.
Now, we've spoken about Formula One drivers driving the new M3. In the last 2 weeks, a bunch of people and a few people that we know have picked up the new M3s and M4s. Let's get the elephant out of the room. After you've seen it now in pictures and in real life, we actually seen one next to my house in real life, the M4, not the M3. In that, what was that neon green colour called?
Like lime green.
I can't remember what it's called.
The actual colour, but yeah.
Well, we saw one driving down the road, and obviously we've seen pictures of R44 Performance's one.
The funniest thing is, it was as we was talking about something. Yeah. So we were
literally talking about the car.
We was having a conversation saying that when we see the supercars and stuff now, we don't get excited anymore. Like,
yeah, that's it.
We were saying we get excited when we see limited things or classic cars or Like if you was to see an E30 M3, you'd be like, oh my God, or an M3 CSL or like an old S4 or RS4. And then we was talking about like just your generic cars, like your new M3, new M4 and
Your Hurricanes, they're very generic now. Your R8s, they're very generic now. Your Aventadors, they're very generic
and
now.
then out of nowhere, this M4 just drove past us, brand new one, G82. And we both went, oh my God.
Both broke our necks.
But I've said from day one, and I've backed it from day one, I think the car looks sick.
I like the grills.
I've said from day one.
I've got nothing against the grills.
And I always knew, that all that was going to happen is people get comfortable, they don't like change, right? I just knew that as soon as the car come out, people will start changing their mind.
I'll tell you one thing I don't like. I'll tell you one thing I don't like about the design, but it's an easy fix. I don't like the black side skirts.
No, I do.
I think it just looks... It looks aftermarket from factory. I don't like it.
Yeah, but it creates a lot of aggression.
And I don't know. I just feel like it just someone's just modded it badly is what it looks like. In my opinion, I just feel like the black side skirts just look odd on the car. That's why I will say, to be fair, that car does look mean in black. And obviously you don't see that odd looking side skirt. But Reese's one in that whitey silvery colour, I think that looks stunning.
Oh yeah, it looks wicked.
I don't really like it in that neon green. I don't think the neon is neon enough. It feels a bit washed out.
Bit pastel-y.
And the other green, the launch colour, basically my old colour.
That colour's bad boy.
It looks awesome. But I'd still get it in black. I don't know why. I think black or even, and you don't see many of these nowadays, red look really good on that car.
I've seen a red F80. That looked pretty good.
Yeah, I think red is a slept-on colour. I think it got rinsed back in the day. And then people are, I wouldn't get red anymore. But I think red actually looks really good on cars nowadays. But
it does.
A lot of people have cussed out the grills. And I looked at another M4 on Reese's page that didn't have the icon headlights. So there's that already. And it looks so much more dated. Even though I've always said the F80 and F82 platform is probably one of the best looking modern BMWs ever made.
Yeah, 100%.
But after seeing the G80 and then seeing the F82 next to it without icon headlights, I just thought that looked a lot more dated. So I don't actually mind the new M3s and M4s. I think they look awesome.
I prefer the new M3 over the new M4. I don't like the rear end of the new M4.
See, I really like the rear end. I really like the lights. I don't like the windows. I think the windows look too small for the car.
No, I don't like the rear lights. I think they just look weird.
I think the lights look nice.
No, they don't.
That's just my opinion.
They don't look like they belong on that car.
Do you not think?
No, they look like they're from like a mocha.
No, to be fair, they're quite similar to the 8 Series lights a little bit.
No, I think the G80 over the G82, 100%.
Yeah, obviously, well,
no mainly
because of the wider arches, let's be real.
Yeah, but not even just because of that. Because I've always been 3 doors over 5, 100%. With the only exception being M3 over M4. Just because of that car just has so much presence.
Yeah. But as I say, I don't know. I don't actually mind the M4. I think the M4 does look nice. The only problem I have is the shape of the windows. I feel like the shape of the windows look awkwardly small on the car. I don't know why, but that's just what I think. But more importantly, we all need to find out how it drives. Now, Reese obviously took it to Wales this week, and the content looked sick.
It did look very good.
And yeah, hats off to Dylan for that. But one thing I really liked was one thing that he'd said is that it actually drives better than his M2.
That's a big statement.
Massive statement, because the M2 was the M driver's car.
The pinnacle.
And for an M3 to drive better than an M2, that's a big statement.
Well, a lot of people said that the M2 should have been the M3. It's following on from the E46 M3.
Yes, I would say the M2 is a modern day 46 M3. But yeah, as I say, the statement of the G80 driving better, a big car driving better than a small little M2 with whatever tune you want to put on it, with whatever mods you want to put on it. And that's a G80 stock. I don't think he's done much to it. He's not done anything to it. He's just picked it up. I think the only thing he's done is played around with the put a couple spaces on there,
Yeah.
and put a bit of carbon bits on it.
And a catback from
Deutsche Tech.
Deutsche Tech.
But other than that, for a stock M3 to be driving a lot better than an M2, because the stock F80 M3 did not drive anywhere near as good as an M2.
No.
That car just wanted to kill you. Trust me, I've had two of them. Well, M4s, but yeah.
Yeah, and I drove it.
And wasn't comfortable. I just wanted to get out of there. But anyway, speaking of cars that we've had, what have you had in your time?
In my time.
In your time.
I'm
Since
22,
you started
guys.
driving. Since you started driving 5 years. Wait, 22, 5 years ago.
So,
First car.
right, let's kick it back.
And you got to tell us the mods.
I had a Corsa C, yeah, just to practice in.
Snap, me too.
Like, it was a car that I got learner's insurance on so that my dad could take me out so that I could get loads of bad habits and fail my driving test.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll talk about that after.
Did you fail?
Yeah, of course I did. That,
How many times did you take to get your license?
3.
3.
So did Hamilton.
So did my dad. So I don't think it's a good thing.
Yeah, that didn't stick around for long. I didn't have that for long. That was purely just learner's insurance, get a bit of practice in the car. Then, right, what I thought was going to be my first car, I got a Mark 6 Fiesta Z-Tech, like 1.25.
Nice. What year was that? Mark 6, I don't know what year that was.
2007,
Okay.
something like that. Mate, it came with a body kit already on it.
Wait, one sec. Is this the one with like the triangular looking headlights, not the new swooping ones?
Yeah.
Yeah. They're bad boy whips.
So it came with a body kit on it.
I used to really want one of them. I couldn't afford it.
Like, it had aftermarket front bumper, aftermarket side skirts, aftermarket rear bumper. I just bought it like that. Then I done the most trash thing ever. I sprayed the mirror caps yellow. Yeah.
Huh?
I was going to go with some like black and yellow theme, yeah.
Oh my God.
So I sprayed the mirror caps yellow. I went to Halfords.
Nice.
I bought black car mats with yellow edge.
Yellow rim edge thing.
Yeah, yellow edge.
Piping, that's what it's called.
Bought a couple other yellow bits to go in the car, yellow air freshener, all that kind of stuff. And again, that was only really when I was learning. So that car was meant to be ready for when I passed my test. Done a few practice drives with my dad, and then I took it to a party
Oh no.
before I passed my test,
Oh no.
which
Oh no.
is a terrible idea.
Oh no.
Don't ever do that.
Oh no, no.
But it was
no,
only up
no,
the road.
no.
It was only up the road. I was gassed that I had a car and that I knew how to drive it. So I thought, you know what? I went with my friends to this party, came home, and I didn't drive it again until I passed my test. So I passed my test. 3rd time. I didn't use that car. I sold it.
Okay. So you modded it and never
then-
actually had it when you had a license. Okay.
Because what happened was, right, I was like, no, this car's too slow. I need a faster car. Obviously, with it being your first car, you can't go too crazy. But I needed something a bit faster. So I got an Audi A1.
What was your insurance like on that?
Which, to be fair, yeah, that car was fast.
Yeah, my mate Alessandro, he had a 1.4
Yeah.
A1, but that was the one, it was the TFSI.
Yeah, that's what I had.
So it was the one that had the supercharger and the turbocharger.
That's what I had as
The
well.
front wheels were spinning for fun on that car.
Yeah, mate, I couldn't fault that car.
Yeah.
And to be fair, whoever owned it after me, yeah, I apologise. Because that thing was on its last legs, mate. I used to rag that everywhere. And I put miles on that car, mate. Miles. I think the first year I had it, I done 20K.
I mean, that's what I get now, but yeah.
I put
That's a
miles
lot.
on that car, man. But I really, really, really loved that car. That was such a cool first car. Like passing your test and that's your first
to
car.
be in an A1. How old are you? 17?
Yeah.
To be in an A1 at 17,
Yeah.
that's mad.
It was cool, man. And my insurance was double expensive. It was like 3,000 something, 3,300 or
It's
something.
not even like horrible for what it is.
No, but I was looking at quotes on the Fiesta and it was coming out at like 2.6, 2.7.
Yes, I paid 225, something like that, with a black box on a Corsa C, which is a 2004 Vauxhall
Mate,
Corsa.
don't get it twisted. I had a black box. However, right, I don't know whatever happened with my black box because one, there was no way I was ever going to abide by it.
Okay.
No way. My feet are too heavy. I had that car for what? Nearly 2 years. Between a year and a half and 2 years. Something like that. And I never ever received via email the login details because you know you meant to have that you log in so that you can check your progress, you know, you can see, and you get like a report, yeah, and it says, oh, you need to improve on XYZ, or you've been doing XYZ, great, keep it up. I never got it. I never got sent it. Never got emailed it, nothing. I never had a login, so I couldn't even check my progress.
Okay.
So I thought, forget this. If I can't even check it, I'm just going to send it. And then...
I mean, that's one way to go about things.
And then, yeah, I just used to send it everywhere and I never, ever heard nothing back from my insurance. So I don't know if it was fitted wrong, if it was like an admin error. I don't know. But I basically didn't have a black box because I drove it however I wanted.
Sick. For a first car.
So that was a touch.
First car, third car, but first car.
That was a touch.
Insane.
That was a touch.
What'd you get after that?
Then I was like, oh, okay, I want something a bit faster. And I went for something different. So everyone had Fiesta ST.
Yeah.
Corsa VXR.
Oh, yeah.
Shout out to all you lot that got smoked.
To be fair, at one point I really wanted an Astra VXR, not the current shape. Like
everyone
the old
wanted
shape.
one. Everyone wanted one.
Astra VXR, and there was one that I found that was a Nürburgring edition.
The white one.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
it.
bad boy.
And the number plate was V8URG. V, so Vauxhall.
Berg. Yeah, that's
cool. And I was
cool.
like, I need to cop that. And then my dad looked at me like, you're buying a new car, you're going to get an Astra. What are you doing?
So I got in a bath, which...
turned into the biggest Asbo-mobile I've ever seen in my life.
Which was probably the most controversial thing that I ever done. People were like, why the hell are you going from an Audi to a Fiat? Mate, the amount of stick that I received for doing that.
Completely different cars.
But now look, a baths are to a penny, mate. You see them everywhere.
Everyone's got it. Cheap lease deals.
Everyone's got
Everyone
them.
has them.
Cheap to insure. They're actually pretty fast.
For what they are.
Yeah, as like a round town car.
I'll say one thing about them though. Stock, I didn't enjoy it. I had a mate of mine who had one stock. He just bought okay, granted it's not the exact same car, it was the Abarth 124, that convertible
Yeah.
MX-5 thing. I drove it and I was like, this isn't what I was expecting it to be. It drove really well, don't get me wrong, and it was a good drive. But stock, it didn't have anywhere near the personality that people like you or a couple of my other friends that had their Fiat 500s that they've obviously tuned and put exhaust on, it didn't have anywhere near the same personality. And I was like, this isn't what I was expecting from that car.
Yeah.
Like, I was expecting it to be, I wouldn't say how it was tuned, but at least close to that.
Yeah. I mean, they are completely different when you tune them, like completely night and day. So mine was like 135 brake horsepower from factory. something like that. And I done downpipe, catback exhaust, forged carbon intake, forged turbo actuator. What else did I do?
Straight pipe.
Yeah, but I think performance-wise, that was it. I didn't do like intercooler or anything
But
like
you've
that.
done a load of other stuff as well. I think you ripped out the interior, roll cage.
That made 191 brake horsepower.
That's a lot for a car that weighs nothing.
Yeah, literally, like they're 1,035 kilos from factory. So once you take out the
That's
rear,
like 500 kilos less than mine.
once you take out the bench was like 20 kilos or something. So it's
sub a ton, nearly.
Yeah, pretty much.
Or about a ton.
Then I done H&R lowering springs and spacers. It needs that.
Really?
Anyone that's got one, you need to lower it.
Is it too wobbly?
So much body roll, it's ridiculous.
Okay.
So much. Like short wheelbase, but the car sits quite high. Mate, you're just asking to do roly-polies, mate. Like, I had no confidence in that car as far as suspension, stock-wise.
Okay.
So the lowering springs and the spacers, massive, massive difference. Apart from that, I didn't really do anything. I changed the rear lights to some different rear lights. They were like Lexus style lights. But yeah, other than that, it was just usual things like tints, chromes to gloss black, and a sick plate.
Fiat, yeah?
Yeah, man. F14 TYH.
Fiat, yeah?
Mate, that plate was sick.
Okay. And you don't have that anymore? Oh, you
no,
do,
no,
but
I've still got that.
You do have that, but yeah, you're trying to sell it.
I've still got that. It's mouldy somewhere.
Where have you kept it? It's not on your road, is it?
No.
Okay.
No, it's on my girlfriend's drive.
Makes sense.
Now I have a BMW 235i, which, coming from the above, was just like the maddest thing. That jump was just mental.
Yeah, you've gone from 135 horsepower stock
Front wheel drive.
To 300 and
20-ish.
something along those lines. Stock
Rear
wheel drive. Completely different car.
Completely different.
Not intimidating to drive, is it?
Not at all.
I do rate those cars.
Not at all. I've always wanted to get into rear wheel drive just because it's the driver's car. Do you know what I mean? Rear wheel drive. That's where it's at. And for me, that was a good way to sort of break myself into the rear wheel drive world. I mean, if I was to probably go for something like an M3 or an M4, probably would be dead or crashed it. I mean, that's not even down to the driver, really. It's just inexperience.
They're really
rear-wheel
snappy
drive.
cars.
Very, very, very.
I think that's the M3s and the M4s are the reason why I get stressed out in any rear-wheel drive car. I don't care how. I was in a
PTSD.
GT. Mate, it is. Because that car, if you even touch the throttle midway in a corner,
oh yeah, you're gone.
You're going backwards or you're in a tree, right? I was in my mate's GT3 the other day and he took me for a spin. Max, I'm not going to forget that. Anyway, my man was flooring it at every point he possibly could. I don't think he let off the throttle. That car was going full chat everywhere. But it was planted. It was as if it was four-wheel drive with glue on its tyres.
Yeah, but Porsches are renowned for it.
Especially the GT3.
They just corner so flat.
But I was stressed because in the M4s, you couldn't do anywhere near the stuff that he was doing.
Yeah.
And I didn't like it. I was so uncomfortable. But I'm a really bad passenger as well. I can't hack it.
To be fair, I'm a bit of a nutter driving.
I know.
Put me in the passenger seat, mate. I'm a bag of nerves.
I hate it. I absolutely hate it.
If I'm not in control, mate, I'm panicking.
Okay, so what have you done to your M235i? Because this list is quite big.
Sunstrip.
And you've had it and you've only had it for a couple of months.
No, I've had it for a year now.
It's been that long already?
Yeah, mate, it's gone quick.
Mate, I literally thought you only bought it a few months ago.
No, it's gone so quick.
Mate, time flies. It's
Yeah.
because of COVID.
So I've done a Sunstrip.
Sick.
No, I'm joking.
That's extra 10 horsepower right
I actually
there.
have done a Sunstrip.
I hate your Sunstrip, by the
And
way.
it's a bad boy one.
I hate your Sunstrip.
50% windscreen delete.
I hate your Sunstrip. You literally, your windscreen is now a letterbox, bro.
Yeah, but it makes you feel more intimate.
No,
like.
no.
It does, man.
I hate it.
It does.
I don't
you don't
get
need
enough-
to see the traffic lights when you pull up
I don't
next
get
to
enough
them
visibility
anyway.
in the car stock, let alone with a Sunstrip.
So, what have I done? Right. I don't even know what my first mod was. You know, that's so bad. I don't even know what I done first.
I think you
I
did
can't remember
a
it
couple of things in one go.
Yeah, I can't remember it in order, but we'll just go with it. So, Bilstein coilovers.
Nice. At least you went with coilovers and not lowering springs like everyone else.
Yeah. Millway camber adjustable top mounts,
Wheels. You
Which
did your wheels
is-
first.
which is probably one of the best mods I've done
Sick.
because they are just sick. Massive, massive difference.
But you had to get the camber adjustment anyway for your wheels, didn't you?
Yeah. So I've got
You got
new
a pretty
wheels.
sporty setup for your wheels.
Yeah, I got Koenig Hypergram. They're like they're flow forged, so they're not fully forged. But I got a square setup. So obviously from factory they're staggered. I think it's like 8J and 7J. 8J
Okay.
rear, 7J front factory.
Okay.
I might be wrong. Now
That doesn't sound that wide. I thought they were 9J square.
no. Now I'm 8.5 square.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I'm 8.5 square now.
Sorry, I was talking about your new setup.
Kept 18s though.
Yeah. Didn't go bigger.
Nah, it just ruins the driving aspect of the car.
Okay. And you went some meaty tyres.
Yeah, it had bad boy NS2Rs on there. They were like drag tires, but they had the stiffest sidewalls ever.
Really?
Yeah,
There was a lot of sidewall though.
the stiffest sidewalls ever, mate. It would probably understeer before it oversteered. Like it had that much grip that I wasn't even worried about the rear end stepping out.
Really?
No, I wasn't even worried about it. It had so much grip, it was ridiculous. But then winter came and oh my God, I've never been in a worse situation in my life. Them tyres in the wet is
Mate, you're on slicks. You're basically on slicks.
absolutely terrible. So yeah, they got changed in the winter. Just got normal tyres. I've done M4 lower control arms and tension struts. Big difference again. You get like 6mm wider track either side. So it's like 12mm overall or something. Something like that. Or it might be 6mm overall. I can't remember. But anyway, you get a wider track and it adds like 1 degree of camber. So that's a big difference. What else? Everything else is this engine, I think. Oh no, Alcantara steering wheel. Mate, I'm telling you, in terms of like cheap mods, yeah, that is one of the best things you can do. Forget leather, mate. Leather's old news.
Mate.
Alcantara wheel makes you feel like a racing driver.
It is sick.
It is,
I just hate the way it wears.
mate, it's confidence inspiring. It
Yeah, I hate
sounds
the way
ridiculous.
it wears. And also, you know
No,
what else
you
I
just-
don't like?
Just brush it.
You know what else I don't like? You trying to do a 3-point turn, doing the old taxi man,
Yeah, but no
one palm swivel. Yeah, you can't do that on a. You'll get chafing on your rear. You'll cut your palms.
You can. You just might get a carpet burn. But no, that mod honestly is sick.
Oh, you know what you should do? You know that like knob thing.
The
that you
little
do-
thing.
the little knob that you put on there.
But yeah, mate, that cost me like 180 quid or whatever it was.
Yeah, they're sick cheap mods.
Yeah. What else? So everything else pretty much is performance, like engine wise. So
So it's quite a track oriented setup that you've got.
oh yeah, for sure. Like more fast road rather than track.
Okay.
I would go more track if I had a daily,
Okay.
just like a normal daily car. But
And do you plan on taking it to many more track days? Have you been on any
I
track
haven't
days?
been on any yet. Because
of COVID?
COVID just messed the whole thing up.
But you're planning to take it on the
Oh,
track?
yeah, 100%. That's what I got the car for.
So what future mods do you have in mind?
Well, I've got... So let's just finish what we've got now.
There's still more.
Yeah, we didn't spoke about engine or nothing.
Oh, yeah, we haven't.
So, yeah. Stage 2 plus software on the engine. Got MVM aluminium charge pipe. MVM front mount intercooler. Berger Motorsport intake. Scorpion catback exhaust. I think the downpipe is from a company called Richter, but I might be wrong. I literally just bought it off someone on Facebook, the downpipe, but I'm pretty sure it was Richter. XHP Stage 3, which is gearbox software, which if you've got ZF8, mate, it's one of the best mods.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. After you did it kind of gave it more of that dual clutch kind of vibe rather than talking about.
Yeah, the changes are a bit slow from factory. The XHP, obviously, just makes it so much better. Makes it feel more like DCT type. Still not as aggressive as DCT though. Nowhere near. And then it's methanol injected as well. That wasn't really for maximum power gains. That was more for peace of mind.
So you don't blow your engine up.
Just because the car's going to be getting, like, you've been out in the car with me.
Unfortunately.
that car gets put through its paces.
Yeah.
So for me, it was just a peace of mind thing that I know that nothing's going to melt or overheat. So that was why I done that. But obviously off of the back of that, Mabs at MVM, shout out to him. He's just a guy. He could do a bit more magic because of the methanol. What else? I think that's it.
And what have you got left?
Everything.
I know you're getting a roll cage done.
Yeah, half roll cage. Don't want to go full, so we'll just do half. Diff needs to happen. LSD. Because this open diff stuff is stupid.
One tire fire.
Mate, it is honestly it's terrible. It's so unpredictable. So
I know, we nearly ended in a tree.
So LSD, 100%. Power flex the whole car, 100%.
Which one? Which black stuff, purple stuff?
Nah, just your normal power flex road series or like fast road track
What colour's that one?
Yellow?
I think so, yeah. Because I know that, is it the black one that's the toughest one?
They do black, but
mate, that's like
you end up with scoliosis,
yeah,
mate.
that's like blocks in your as bushes.
Yeah, that you got. Yeah, no, I wouldn't go that savage just because I still do drive the car. Like if I'm going to my friend's house or if I'm going out with a missus for a meal or whatever, or if we're going like Starbucks drive-through because I'm a white girl.
Getting your Fiat 500 for
can't be smashing over all the bumps. And everything.
No.
So that's gonna happen next year. I want to do turbo.
Really?
Yeah, 100%.
Hybrids or pure?
It depends.
Whatever other brand.
Pure are currently developing a Pure 800 kit for my car. So it'd be cool to see that. Obviously, it's price dependent because there is other ones out there that are competitive. You got Pure Stage 2. Then you got Big Boost, which is an American company. But Mabs at MVM, the guy that done my car, he works closely with them. High pressure fuel pump, that has to happen. Oh, you can't go any further with the fuel pump on my car.
Even on the B58, I heard that's the main reason why you can't get as much power is the fuel pump.
But the B58 one's better than my one because a lot of people do it as an upgrade. Like you can run 500 brake through that. But then you get the B58 TU pump, like it's in the Supra. That can do like 600, I think.
Yeah, I've heard that's a common mod.
So rather than getting like Dorch Engineering stage 2 high pressure fuel pump or whatever it is, they're like $2,000. They're
How much is the B58 TU fuel pump?
You can get it from Toyota for 900 quid.
Okay.
And then
Better than $2,000.
But you do have to machine it or something to make it fit because it won't bolt directly on. You do have to machine it or get some sort of like flange or something made.
Speaking of Toyota,
for it to fit.
Did you see that link I sent you today?
Yeah.
Toyota Grimina. Toyota Supra Grimina. Grimina.
But they're only doing 200.
Only making 200, but with the M3, M4 engine.
But what are the chances of owning it? 0.
I mean, put it this way. How many people actually bought the current Supra?
Not a lot.
Exactly. Even though there were waiting lists and everything.
I was shocked.
I've seen one on the road. And that was Wrench's one.
I was shocked. Because that car, mate, it's a nice car.
Mate, that's sick.
It looks the part.
I saw it at Wrench, when they bought it. Bear in mind, that was when I just got my R8. And it made me think, should I have got that instead of the R8? That's how much I really like that car.
Mate, I really, really like that car. And the fact that as a factory car, like it comes with 340...
Yeah. Or 360.
They say that, but it will definitely dyno more.
I think they have dynoed more, yeah.
Because they're just evil out the box. But it has the potential...
And they're very moddable.
Yeah.
Like Toyota have made it to be easily modded.
It's got the potential for over 500 brake from factory. Like, you can just do stage 2 and your bolt-ons and you make 500. I can't believe there isn't that many on the road.
Okay, question. Your money. Imagine they're the same money. They're about what, 70, 80 grand for the new M3? Your money. Are you buying the new M3 or are you buying a Supra?
But they're not the same price.
Assume they're the same price. I don't know how much the Supra is going to be. I'm not going to lie. I haven't read that far into the article.
Oh, you're talking about the one with the M3 engine?
Yeah, that's it. Because Z4 Supra, I'd buy the Supra. The Z4 is obviously nice because it's a BMW, not a... One second. My camera won't record. Bear with me.
Was it recording though?
Wasn't until... Oh, I've run out of room. Well, that was annoying. My memory card ran out of storage. So I had to just delete a bunch of stuff. Anyway, we were talking about the Z4 with the M3 engine.
Supra.
Sorry, yeah. Supra with the Z, with the, oh my God. Supra with the M3, M4 engine. Now, old Supra versus Z4, probably get the Supra.
100%.
Even though the BMW is a BMW and it's a convertible, which some people like. I think the Supra looks better.
Oh yeah, 100%. It looks way better.
But for a B58, it's a lot of money.
It is a lot of money, but it's more the heritage with the Supra.
Yeah, but a lot of people argue that they kind of lost the heritage with the new ones and whatnot.
Oh, yeah.
But Supra S58 versus M3, what you getting?
I don't know, man. It's difficult. Probably G80.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the thing with the Supra. As much as it's a great car, 9 times out of 10, you're just going to buy a BMW.
We didn't touch on the G80's interior.
Oh, I love the penis tray.
Mate.
That tray is insane. Also, does this sound bad? I really want to get them seats and fit them in my car. Is that possible?
It probably is, but mate, oh my God. You're just asking for trouble. You're asking for trouble. But let's take it back to the G80. Mate, BMW have always done a nice interior. Never done anything outrageous.
That's what Mercedes does, but I feel like Mercedes is a glossy, fancy-looking veneer on top of trash. Audi has always just been very...
clean.
Yeah, but I was in a brand new A4 the other day. And other than the nice looking screen, I thought, I'd take a new 3 Series all day long. All day long. I think Audi only get really cool with their interiors when you're talking big boy Audis, RSQ8s, RS6s, brand new.
Yeah. So,
But I'd say BMW's interiors are a lot more solid and a lot better looking and a lot more functional. In my opinion, hands down, best interior function-wise, BMW
function-wise,
all day long.
Yeah, 100%.
But yeah, I'd probably say BMW have just got it. Now the interiors look nicer. I think they've got the perfect mix.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Aside from maybe Porsche, but even Porsche I don't really like. I don't like Porsche infotainment. But Porsche have always had a good mix between tech and functionality. Anyway, I digress.
They smashed it with a G80 interior. Smashed it.
Future cars, what are you looking at?
I don't know. It's a long shot off for me, I think. Just purely because I'd be a bit of an idiot to get a car a tier above mine without getting a house or a flat or whatever.
You've got the house, you've got the
first.
flat. I'm giving you 100 grand now, 200 grand, whatever. What are you buying?
I mean, 100 grand and 200 grand is completely different. It opens up so many more doors.
Whatever you want. Just not hypercars.
Whatever.
One car.
One car, whatever I want, not a hypercar.
Yeah.
Oh my God. What? Drive it for the rest of your life?
Or what is your future plan with cars?
It will, mate, I will always have a performance-orientated car.
Okay.
Always.
Sticking to BMWs, you might join the four-wheel drive dark side.
No, not four-wheel drive. Forget that. It doesn't keep me on my toes. I'm not down for that. Not down for all that fucking all that understeer. I'm not on that. No way.
I guess I've never had understeer because I've never driven my car hard enough, but yeah.
No way. I'm not down for that. So, rear-wheel drive, definitely. I mean, maybe four-wheel drive switchable could be an option.
Like the new M5s and M8s.
Yeah, that could be an option. As long as it's just not a permanent four-wheel drive, because I'm not down for that. 100 grand, whatever car.
200 grand, whatever the budget. 300 grand, whatever the budget, just not hypercar.
Oh, mate.
Because you can't drive a hypercar every day. You'd be too scared to nick the front bumper. That's a 50 grand bill just to fix that.
Mate, I actually don't know. I would probably say F90.
Really? Really?
4 doors. All the power you need. Switchable drivetrain. It's fast. Looks the part, sounds the part. Big boot. It's a BMW. What more do you need from a car?
Fairs. Would you have more than one car? So if
Yeah.
I said 300 grand, but you can buy a few cars, not one car, would you rather that?
Yeah, I'd be down for that.
Yeah. What are you getting?
Probably still F90.
Okay, so that's your jack of all trades. Then what?
So what? That's like 100 grand gone.
Mm-hmm.
So you've got basically 200 grand to spend on a supercar. Probably either 720S.
But they catch on fire and they don't let you out and they lock yourselves in.
No, man.
And your dog gets trapped.
No, man. Bet you smoke everyone. And that's what's important. 720S or a GT3.
Nice.
Something,
I mean, you know my answer.
something driver orientated.
My answer would be keep my R8.
Keep my R8.
Love it too much. Nothing can top it other than, this won't happen until I can afford this,
812.
A12 super fast. And I do like the convertible. It's quite nice. I like the little bumps on the back with the two like heads are and like, they look sick. A12 super fast. Definitely get straight piped. I don't think there's anything that sounds
Oh, no.
as good as that on the road.
Not even close.
But until I can afford one of them, I will have my car, classics that I build, full resto mods, right? So let's say, for argument's sake, I go buy a 67 Camaro, brand new chassis, Brand new drivetrain. I'll call Chevy up and say I want an LS3. Ship it over. Thank you very much. Refurb the whole interior. All new tech behind the dash, not visible. Brand new brakes, brand new suspension. Realistically, it's going to get bagged. But then I'm driving a brand new, reliable 500-600 horsepower car with all modern technology and tech and engineering. That looks like a 67 Camaro. Full resto mod. For argument's sake, Camaro. I'd like to have a list of them. I'd love a BMW E9. I'd love a 2002.
Oh my God.
I'd love a Carmen Ghia.
2002 is woy.
I'd love a Beetle. I wouldn't mind doing a Beetle job. 67 Mustang, just to tick the box. Mate, I could go on. I'd love a truck.
So you're telling me 300 grand, you have your R8?
No, I can't get to do all of that. It would be a classic and an 812 and maybe a cheapo daily. Get a Cooper S or something.
But isn't the 812 like 300?
Well, if I buy it in a year, it'll be cheaper. Now, at the moment,
they're about now.
At the moment, they're about 240 grand.
We're talking now.
240 grand for the 812.
So you got 60 grand
40
to spend
grand
on
for the resto mod. 20 grand for the Cooper S JCW. Done.
You think a full restoration Camaro is 40 bags?
Maybe it won't be complete, but close enough. But I've come a long way from my course to see, so happy days.
Yeah,
I never even ran you through my list of cars. But we can do that another
stupid
day.
SD card.
Yeah, I've only literally got a minute and 20 left of video footage that I can record. So I should really wrap this up.
Yeah, man.
We have been talking for like 2 hours, so...
Always wrap it up, mate. Always.
On that note, thanks for listening, guys. Let me know what you want to hear. Let me know who you want me to bring on. And yeah, I'll speak to you guys soon. Take care.
Why didn't you finish
Peace.
it? And on that bombshell...
Nah, see you later.
Bye.
All right, we're done.
Bye.